We're getting a lot of reverb on your.
Yeah, I'm not hot here.
Your mic? Your headphones?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, trace it to the source.
How's the tat treating you?
Ah, God, that's good.
Is it good? That's all that happened? You're good now?
Yeah.
Huh.
What the fuck just happened?
Oh, that's weird.
We all just kind of moved, and
Yeah.
it all of a sudden
It
worked.
came live.
It's like the rabbit ears on the TV. I'm looking at Paul to say this because nobody else would
Oh,
get
I
this
know
reference.
those. You'd know those too.
Yeah, I do.
At the beach.
Where you usually had an extra kid just so the kid would stand
You'd
next to the
hang on
TV and hold on to it.
Yep.
With some tinfoil.
Tinfoil, huh?
Yeah.
And why is it that those things would move? That should be where it's going to be, right? Like, you get them dialed and then, like...
Yeah, and you're good forever, but every channel
But every
would be
channel is a different
Yeah.
position.
It's because it's an over-air frequency.
Yeah.
It's the same as your radio dial. It's just they serve the lower numbers were for TV channels, TV frequencies. How do I know this? I went to broadcasting school. What did I do with that degree? I'm sitting right here drinking
Making
beer.
no money.
I made a podcast. How lucrative is my podcast? I live in my basement.
I don't live here. Well, my
Pretty
wife would
much.
say I pretty much do. Before we begin, it's time for that good old-fashioned sponsor mentions. For all mentions, please check out Packfiller.com. First, to set you in the right direction and to let our sponsors know that you found out from us. Let's start with our great friends at Gooder Sunglasses. If you haven't gotten to Gooder, you're spending way too much on quality cycling eyewear. Can you imagine stylish, quality, colorful, or not, if that's your thing, non-slip eyewear for under $50 a pair? That's right. Just get to the Gooder link. Be sure to use our promo code PACKFLOR15 for an even better deal. Next off, Huel. Great meals on the go, from their Huel Black Edition to your morning shakes, all natural and great tasting, to the very lunch I had when I wrote this copy, which was last week, the yellow coconut curry. Although my shorts match it, for they have hot options. You should give it a try. Believe me. Use the link at Packfiller and get started on some great food options for those days when you are on the go, like every day. And finally, Athletic Brewing, folks. That's right. The non-alcohol craft beer revolution is here, and Athletic is leading the charge. Flavorful, varietal, and on average about $70 a can. All the good, none of the bad. Use the link. Grab some.
$70 a
70
can?
calories a can.
Okay.
Did I say $70 a can?
Yeah.
Did I say dollars?
I heard dollars.
I meant to say calories a can. All the good, none of the bad. Use the link, grab some flavor. It's not that expensive, I promise.
That's a big difference.
And they're delicious.
They are.
I had several of those over this last weekend.
And my audio's not playing through the
What?
right. What?
Oh, these are 50 calories.
Oh.
For counting calories over here.
Yeah, but if you like frog piss, it goes in good.
Honestly, it's kind of high for frog piss. Like, I would expect 0 calories for what this tastes like.
Why isn't my sound?
It makes me want to puke thinking about it.
If he loses something, this is his punishment. He has to drink one of these.
There, you got it. It's that little knob, volume.
It was the
knob.
button that saved Sam's headphones.
Yeah.
Wow, that's loud. You know why it's loud? Because that was the channel that Ben King was being interviewed through.
Oh.
And so
That was
I
a
had
good
to,
interview,
I had to
by the
pop
way.
up his audio.
Oh, is he quiet?
He's like David.
No, he's not quiet. He's just distance away. He doesn't have the excuse of sitting, 2.5 feet away from me
Yeah.
And
with a really
The
expensive
microphone's like
Shure
in your
microphone
throat,
in
and
his
it's
face.
still
I know. I
quiet.
can't get any closer.
That's actually...
a little hot.
That was a little Oh my God. Don't worry, you haven't pulled a Rip Van Winkle and slept the months of August and September away. The World Championships are indeed this weekend. Well, half of them, I guess, are that is. Welcome to the Packfiller Podcast. We are live in the Rim Break Bar, and it is indeed August 1st, 2023, and I'm depressed because the summer's...
Over.
Yeah, that's it.
Yep.
Let's jump right in with a prologue for tonight. Panel, what is your favorite go-to cereal and why? That is the prologue question for tonight. Cereal. And I'm not talking like hot cereal or, muesli. You eat muesli out of a punishment. Did I just say
This brings up some good stories.
All right. First of all, he's still going to nationals, Mr. Paul Maine.
Yeah. Yeah, no bike,
So far.
but I'll get there.
Still haven't got a bike.
Really?
No, I'll save it for later.
All right.
There's a section coming.
Don't get me started. How are you, man?
Feel the
I'm doing all right.
Yeah.
I'm doing all right.
The heat from the door open or the heat from Paul's rage?
I'm fuming.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's your go-to cereal, Paul?
Well, I probably haven't had cereal probably in 25 years. I don't eat cereal, but when it was around, Cracklin' Oat Bran.
Cracklin' Oat Bran.
Oh,
I took you for a Raisin Bran.
Cracklin' Oat Bran. I don't even know if they make it anymore.
Yeah.
It was just it was a fairly sweet brand.
Is it a flake?
No, it was a round O.
Cluster.
It was a round O.
Oat
And-
Bran.
Yeah, and I would just. It was like popcorn.
Oh no!
Is it
no
like
milk.
Honey O's?
No, I can't believe this. Is too bad they didn't make it. And there's a benefit, a really beneficial part of eating that. Brand.
Shit.
Brand. Yeah.
Shit like a Taco Bell
Yeah.
river.
Flow out of
Yep.
you.
Mhm. I love the taste of brand. I love it.
That looks good.
I went to a Taco
I like
Bell.
prunes.
You
What can I say?
do?
Oh, I love prunes. Yeah, I eat too much of
Oh my
all
god!
that stuff.
See, I'm not consistent enough as it is. Nothing that I produce is solid enough as it is. So if I were to go on a brand diet, I would just be like stuck. I would not be able to leave the room, the bathroom. I'd just be stuck there.
You've had your colonoscopy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that.
He said, "I'll see you in 10 years." 10 years.
Yeah.
It's like that thing's flowing so smoothly.
Yeah, it's like a super highway. Next off, he's got one more win than the rest of us in 2023. Mr. Sam Waples. How are you, man?
That's love that.
Man.
And we're all racking up the wins, right?
Yeah.
Wink, wink.
Totally.
Hey, wait! I won the
Rolling
contest,
in 'em.
Packfiller
You
contest.
did. We
Yeah,
didn't
thank
actually
you.
bring credit to that
No,
last week. That you actually finally
You
won
did
at Tour de
say
France.
finally I did not lose.
Yeah.
But we all basically were last, right?
Yes,
and
we
he just
were.
was last by less than.
Then
you
why
know.
am I the asshole wearing white bibs and a
Because
neon
you
juice?
did so poorly.
Because I'm last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
only people
You're the
below
worst of the
you
worst.
didn't even enter.
You guys should be nice to me. I have a
You
weak
should
heart.
raise bees.
That's my
Let's not
punishment?
start on this foot, Sam. All right, I was bitter last week for some reason.
You weren't just bitter. You were mean.
Okay. Anyway,
I went to bed, and actually,
Did
I
you
took a
cry?
shower before I went to bed, and I just cried.
You know, crying in the shower is the best because nobody can tell if you're crying.
Yeah. Just goes down the drain.
Yeah.
Jackson, I'm really bothered by the fact that you said that.
Well,
We have been. We were talking about what he does in the shower.
Yeah.
Yeah, well,
okay,
Yeah.
we were talking about what I was thinking about in the shower,
about.
David.
Right. Sorry.
Was that
Same
before we
Good
went on air?
docuseries.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
people are going, what?
We gotta clarify what we're talking about here.
No, we don't. Keep it up in the air. Sam, what's your go-to cereal?
I'm gonna like. I mean,
This is gonna be
modern
so
day.
freaking like. Just
Vomity
put a
sweet.
Patagonia sticker on him
Yeah.
and just call him a hipster.
Oh, for
Is it gonna
sure.
be like the
'Cause,
Trader
modern
Joe's?
day, it's like
Yeah.
no Morningstar. I think
Yeah.
it's Morningstar. It's like the granola from Costco.
Oh.
Yeah, and it's like a
yeah.
really
Yeah.
high quality granola. But if I'm gonna like choose mine, it's gonna be probably Captain Crunch berries.
Okay, there we go.
Yeah.
Rip the shreds out of the inside of
Oh,
your gums.
the top of your mouth is
Yeah.
toast by the end
Just-
of it, and you have this thick coat over your tongue.
like chewing on a cheese grater.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll let David tell the story like when you get to him about what would happen in our family with cereal.
Really? It'd just go fast. My parents would sometimes actually leave for the weekend. I don't know how I lived. It was total latchkey kind of a concept. My parents would leave for the weekend, and they'd be like, "Okay, the grocery store down the road, little tiny grocery store, would we had a charge account there." And I would ride my bike down there, and I would buy like 4 boxes of cereal and a gallon of milk, and ride my back
Which
back
grocery
home.
store was this?
It was called the Rockwood Market. It's now called the Rockwood Bakery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. It was
And
there when we moved here.
I would go down there and I would just sign.
Yeah.
And I would ride my bike back home, and that's what I would eat for like 48 hours. Just nothing but cereal. And we
That's
really
life.
wonder why I had a potential obesity problem. when I was a child.
I just had to sign a piece of
Yeah, I
paper.
mean,
I
ours
could
wasn't
have
a
anything.
farm.
Sitting there alone watching TV by myself eating cereal.
Yeah.
How pitiful of a visual is that?
Sounds like a dream.
It sounds like kind of you now.
I would kill for that kind of alone time.
Yeah, right? Yeah, I was living the dream and I didn't even know it.
Yeah.
Third, my introduction, that's about right, is just that he's here.
Yeah.
David Waynes, how are you,
It's a
man?
Freudian slip.
Yeah,
He's a dick.
I'm doing well. Yeah.
Are
Thank
you good?
Yeah.
You've been a busy boy.
Yep. But I think it's gonna chill out. We'll
Did you
see.
just quit?
You
Yeah,
gonna
I quit.
shave now? Clean up that stash?
I don't know. Danielle made a comment about liking my beard, and it's kind of messing with my mind. So I think I'm gonna grow a beard again. We'll
But
see.
you know what?
She's playing psychological games on you. That's so good.
So is Michelle. Michelle's been doing it to me. I think she says like, "No, I like your mustache," and then she smiles, and I'm like, "Going, you're doing this because I look stupid," and she's like, "No, honey,
No,
I think
absolutely
you look
not.
Day
great."
inside of your mind.
No, you don't. No, you don't. Your head would explode. David, what's your go-to cereal?
I don't actually eat cereal anymore either, or granola.
I'm just
But-
like once upon a time.
Once upon a time,
God, you people are difficult.
it was the Reese's Pieces Puffs.
Reese's Puffs.
And-
Oh, Reese's Puffs.
It was
Reese's
like
Puffs.
we were
Peanut butter
only-
chocolate flavor.
Yeah, peanut butter chocolate. Yeah. We were only
Yeah.
allowed to have it at my grandma's house, and if it ever showed up at the house, it was like mixing bowl sized. It was like a rush to see who could get to it first, and then you'd pour the whole thing in a bowl.
And just eat it all.
Yeah.
It's a high quality cereal. It is.
So
Really?
I don't buy cereal. I stopped buying it because I can't like not open a box and finish it.
Mm-hmm.
There was a
This is the
Childhood
complex that I'm
trauma.
talking about.
There was a cereal when I was a kid called Waffle-O's. And it was like mini waffles, and they were maple syrup with blueberries in them, flavored.
Were they O's?
I don't think they were, actually.
That's disappointing.
Now I know why
Yeah.
they went out of business. Your product makes no sense.
Yeah.
Dumbasses.
This is what, like, every morning, like, my mom would go to these, like, Super One cereal sales,
yeah.
you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
The
yeah. and,
bags.
Like,
Did you
buy
get the
them
bags
out.
or
Oh,
the
God,
boxes?
yeah. Everything.
Bags are
And
good.
it was just like, that stuff would be gone in 2 days at the family.
Cinnamon
It's
Toast
just,
Crunch.
oh, my God. This is why it's a
CT Crunch.
competition. It's, like, ingrained in our blood.
Yeah.
It's just like, no, I'm going to eat the
Milk.
whole box. so
Started
you
with
can't have
cereal
any.
then.
Oh, yeah.
cereal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank God it didn't like that was like Jackson's last week where he started with animals, kind of a thing. It didn't start with that and
That was a
expand into
dough.
donuts and move up to birthday cakes. And the next thing you know, you're sticking straws in the jelly donuts, sucking the jelly out and putting in vanilla pudding.
Yeah. Well,
Oh God.
It sounds personal.
Next, he's back. He's got a bike and he's still married. Mr. Jackson Bolger.
yeah. I know. I've been writing a lot, so that's good.
You didn't
man,
mention the
Rose.
marriage part, but marriage.
Oh well,
life,
I mean that's
marriage life,
never gonna
married
change.
life is like
It's
you
never-
were doing this already, so
Yeah.
it's like
yeah.
you're good.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nothing's changed on that front. But on
Yeah.
the biking front, that has
Yeah,
changed.
you are
He's
writing again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. A good bit.
We'll get to that here.
Yeah,
shortly,
yeah.
But what's your cereal?
I do. Captain Crunch is a really strong one for me.
Just regular Captain Crunch or Crunch Berries?
No, just Captain Crunch because the Crunch Berries you got to have a little bit of the Captain along with the Crunch, along with
It's a science.
yeah, it
I
is.
understand.
It is. Yeah. But also, I find that Fruity Dino Bites, not to be mistaken as Fruity Pebbles.
What's the difference?
So the bag, you mentioned the bag.
Multi meal.
The off-brand is way better.
Really?
As somebody who was 2 years ago in college, you find out which cereal's way better because you buy it in bulk, and it's cheaper that way. But yeah, it's way better.
The sugariest, sweetest cereal on the market.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's like diabetic coma after like a bowl. You guys probably, it would have killed you as kids, Waples. It would have
Wow.
killed you guys probably if you would have eaten a whole bag. Of,
Childhood diabetes. Yeah.
yeah. Me, I'm the guy pulling a Sam. I'm Pat Bulger, and I'm not going to Montana this weekend.
That's what I thought was gonna happen because
I'm
you
not
didn't
going
mention
to
anything.
Montana this weekend. I'll talk about it here shortly.
Oh,
Not
my
this
God.
weekend.
Okay.
This weekend.
What's
This
next?
upcoming
I was like,
Yeah.
you
Oh,
son of
the
a...
last best ride. The last
okay.
best ride.
All right,
That's
we're
a good,
good. We're
good
good.
choice. Good
We're
choice.
I'm cool. I'm cool.
Oh,
I'm cool.
okay.
I'm not going to kill anyone.
I'll get to that. My go-to cereal is unfortunately granola because I'm in my 50s and you can have no joy once you reach a certain age.
pleasure?
It has always been Frosted Flakes. I love good old-fashioned Frosted Flakes, and I buy the off-brand. Just freaking brilliant.
My wife loves them with blueberries.
Oh.
She always puts fresh blueberries.
It's
in there.
non-nutritive crunch enhancer. See, the milk won't penetrate the flake. Jackson got that right.
I get it. I get it.
That was from Christmas Vacation.
Merry
That
Christmas.
was Chip
Kiss
and
my
Chase's.
ass.
I got
Kiss his ass.
Happy Hanukkah. I definitely Frosted Flakes. So let's catch up. And because I mentioned the fact that I was going to talk about the fact that I'm pulling a Sam. How's everybody's ride week been? Paul, first of all, bike update. How's it going? What's going on? What's wrong? Is this your rage? Is this the okay?
We'll
Should
save
we
it for
just
later.
skip?
Yeah, that I haven't been riding. My frame, they said was going to come in last week. I emailed them. I haven't heard back. And I called them, and I haven't heard back.
Okay. And we're going to save. Are we going to save this for Packfiller Peeve, or should we just fast forward to Packfiller Peeve and do it now? Let's just
should
do the
get this
Packfiller
out.
Peeves now.
Well-
Everybody, let's just let's do it.
I feel like I need alcohol for this.
Yeah. That's what I hope.
He's twitching.
Packfiller Peeves brought early by special arrangement from Paul Main.
Let me find my Zen because I'm about,
I got
lose it. But
your mic volume right here. I can control it as you rant.
well, the thing is, working in the bike industry,
Yeah.
you're used to, it'll be here, right? And that's okay. I understand shipping time, but not to respond is a frustration for me.
Yeah.
Based on the promise that I received from them, I elected not to purchase a frame that Jack had
Yeah.
because it would have been just this big hassle putting it together. So I'm thinking by the time I get every part that I need, this is the big peeve that I have, the big one, is it's going to take forever to get parts because you can't just buy parts at a bike shop. My wife's going, look, you can just go down to the store. Go down to a bike shop.
They don't do that anymore.
No,
that doesn't happen.
No,
Yeah.
they're there for repair or sell a bike.
Yeah.
They may have small parts, but they don't have anything. Try and find a carbon fiber 27.2 standard carbon. You don't want to run aluminum in that carbon because they're dissimilar metals, and through time they have a tendency to adhere, and you're screwed, right? So I got to find a carbon fiber seat post, and then I was
Seat
talked.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, seat post. Excuse me. I talked to Sam.
He's
Of course,
upset. We'll fill in the blanks. He's
Sam
upset.
Sam was gonna get one, and I thought no. I told him just scrap it because I had a promise it was gonna be, by the time I get everything together,
Yeah.
I'll just be taking it off that Jack's bike. So I told Jack not gonna buy it. So in the process, not hearing, I'm saying screw it, and Renee says, just buy the bike, and then just have a second bike that you can. And I said okay. So then it becomes the hassle. So I finally located one. It should be coming a seat post, that is.
Okay.
But even the bottom brackets, like this one is, the way you set up, you go through it's SRAM and BB Bright, and you just go through this. This is where the real peeve is on bikes. Now, I think bottom brackets are way better than when we had to adjustable cup and the lock ring and blah, 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 and you had all that going on.
Personally, I disagree, but that's okay. Because
I
know how to
light.
fix that shit.
Yeah, same. And these are simple, but the problem is bike manufacturers come up with this stupid ideas of hiding cables, of different size bottom brackets, one moving over, and you're chasing your tail. And the problem is when it goes, we're on to now BB 47s.
Yeah.
So all the press fit shit is just disappearing because who's going to stock that?
Yeah.
And then this is the part that just pisses me off. When you look at, there's guys out there. I went to a local bike shop, Bike Hub, just the other day, came across a couple of guys that I know that's been in the business for a long time. And I look what's in the rack, and they're just your simple, kick around bikes. And they're so simple to put together. You don't have a hang up. You have a chain, you have cables, you have grips, you have all that stuff. It's so easy to stock. But when you have to have special seat posts, handlebar, that is just ridiculous. And then you pay $14,000 for a frickin' bike that if it goes down in a crash, you have to wait 2 weeks to get parts.
Hi, Jackson.
1
that's
month.
That's just ridiculous.
1
It's
month.
insane. It's just insane. And you know, even small little parts that other bike of Jack's is 11 years old.
Yeah.
It's not even a scratch, but to find small little things to make it work, it's like, God almighty.
So
It's just stupid.
your peeve is with the industry?
Pretty much the industry,
Yeah.
bike manufacturers, and talking to many people, and even your interview with Ben
Yeah.
King. You know, I've came across 3 people who are just talking about why is there disc brakes are great in so many things, but are they really needed on road bikes? You know, all of them. I have a disc brake bike. I don't think it's that much of an advantage. So, you know, the thing is it's dictated. The industry pisses me off because, first of all, they give us things that we really don't need sometimes and try and sell us on a bill of goods like this is really important.
Mm-hmm.
And then we all take the bait, and somebody needs to stand up and says, the emperor has no clothes. Listen, this is crap.
Yeah.
The average guy doesn't need hidden cables. I can't service that. It would take me, my house, whenever I get that disc brake, to even change out a headset or something, a new hoses. I'm like, fuck. It's going to take me a day just for do brakes. That's just ridiculous.
Yep.
Ridiculous. That's my peeve.
I like that.
I do get that.
And we're not going to mention the name of the company. Correspondence. It's easy. It's easy. Now I understand people get busy. I understand things get in your head. I've been in that situation where somebody contacts or an email disappears and you didn't know what happened and it didn't come across, or a phone call. Oh shit, I forgot to respond or something like that. But that's rare. It's very easy to say, hey, sorry, we're delayed. We'll get it to you.
And it's more important because I'm feeling pressure. I've invested quite a bit of my money
in
to
nationals.
go down to go down to nationals and some sacrifice, and they don't know this.
Yeah,
You know, they don't, but that's a part of common courtesy. I mean, I've lost 2 weeks of absolutely no riding other than my commuting.
yeah.
And you know, now hopefully I'll have the Cervelo put together by this weekend, and it's a stupid 50. There's the other thing. Selling compact cranks.
Yeah.
That is like the dumbest thing. I don't even touch my 39. It has a 50-34.
His 39,
34.
you could eat dinner off of his
I've
39.
got a picture of
is
it
so
where
clean.
right before I replaced my 53, I had to buy a new one. And it's weird, but it's not even
A
close.
chain has gone around one time because it slipped.
Yeah. It dropped in there. But I'm thinking, I'll be running.
It was there when I bought it.
If I don't,
It was in the. It
That's
was in
right.
that ring when I bought it.
scratched that beautiful black ring. So, I mean, I'll be riding down in my lower cogs all the time. I'll be on my 11, 12, 13, 14. I mean, that's just my riding style. Everybody else is like, well, you should change your style. But
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
you can't.
40 RPMs.
Yeah, that's just the way.
Hear his knees across the country.
And you can't look at I'm going off now, but SRAM, you cannot buy a SRAM red with larger, I think, than 50.
That's because they have a 10 in the back.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. It's like
It's the equivalent of a 5311.
it still doesn't matter because if you look at all the pros, they say screw that, and they're the ones that get all the 5339s back to what it used to be.
Yeah.
And then we as consumers, if that's my riding style, I have to go disc brakes. I have to go compact. They're forcing you everything. I don't have a mechanical option. I have only, it's all electronic now. So that's the thing. It's like,
Damn it.
I will never quit cycling, but it's like, it just really busted my bubble this whole day. I was just driving around all day, just like, this is fucking stupid. It's just dumb. Yeah. One. That's my one.
That's his one. Wow.
Yeah, I'm fuming.
I get it. I do get that.
Yeah.
It's a
Like-
good rant.
Yeah. But it's funny because like if we went back, definitely 10 years ago, but probably less than that. Like you walk into most of the bike shops and they're going to stock a lot of like 27.2 carbon C posts.
Yeah.
We had that at the shop that I was last at all the time.
But I get it. They stock dropper posts that size.
Yeah.
I'm not Mohoric, so I'm not going to do that.
No.
But I understand a small shop cannot stock everything.
Right.
And road cycling, I get all that for the local shop. I don't blame them on that. But it's like my BMC has a D size post, so I couldn't use that on the Cervelo. It's like everything proprietary, and everybody's trying to special make. No, you can't use that headset with this bar. And it's like, oh.
You need a 130 mil stem for your Cervelo?
Yes, I do.
I got one.
All right.
You can have it.
Excellent.
I'll never use it.
We're in a world where all the phone manufacturers have to agree to the same plug to charge your phone. And we can't get all the bike manufacturers to go, yeah, this is our CPO size from here on out.
Did you guys see what SRAM did with their new rear derailleurs for mountain bikes?
Yeah.
They like tricked everybody. They gave out basically like a free patent for a derailleur hanger that forced everybody to make the same dropout, and then they came out with this new, I forget what they call it. It's like a transmission drive or something.
Mm-hmm. And it's all one.
They encourage you to shift under load. It doesn't shift well if you're not pedaling hard. It's like this totally radical change in derailleurs, but the only way they made it work is by scrapping all those proprietary derailleur hangers, because every company has their own derailleur hanger.
Yep. So now like companies will have
You have to trick people into
SRAM, specific dropper, not dropper, dropout.
Dropout, yeah. But they didn't know they were doing it. They just were like, oh, well, this one's free. Like, we'll just put it on our bikes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So
It's,
Well played,
it's
SRAM.
out of
Well
control.
played.
And another chaos, whatever you feel about tubeless, is that they can't even figure out the inner diameter.
Oh, yeah.
That shit is so complicated.
They have hookless, and then they have hook, and now they're semi-hook.
But wait,
Oh,
if you
Jesus.
have the wrong wheel, I learned about this in our Cycle Systems Online course.
Whoa!
Ding ding.
If you have the wrong wheel with the wrong tire, that can go insanely wrong.
Yes,
that can
absolutely.
rip off the bead, or it can fall off of the wheel altogether, and then you're.
Roger Thompson.
I
flying
wasn't
off the
gonna
side of a
say
road.
it. I wasn't gonna say it, but
yes.
Yeah, drink what you say, Roger.
yeah, it's crazy bike world we got.
They're trying to create something that we don't need.
I love my bike.
I know.
I do too.
But your bike is old. Your bike is rim brake. Your bike is non-compact drive. What are you going to do?
When you're forced your hand.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll cross that road when I need to.
I will say,
Just live in the now, man.
I will never ever, and I never take for granted the bike that I've got at the moment. But over the past week, it has been insane to realize like how much I love this thing. It has been so fun to get back into the riding of it all. Not to rub it in your face, Paul. That's not at all what I meant to do there.
It's all right. I'm already
meaner.
a deep gash wound. You might as well just cut it
He
some
can't
more.
even pick his
Throw a
thumb up
little
anymore.
salt in it.
Yeah.
But getting on the compatibility topic of it all, it's great to have a bike now that I know that if, let's say, worse comes to worse,
You break handlebars. You break.
Yeah.
It's
it
swap
all
out.
is. We're all
Ready
able
to
to
go.
do that, which is really nice. Yeah.
One sentence reply from everybody else. How's your cycling week been, David?
Good.
They don't call him the best commentary man in the business for nothing.
One sentence. I don't know. It's been
That
good.
is-
I
that
did a
is- that
century this
is.
weekend. There you go. That
You
was
did.
a good one. Yeah.
You did.
was nice.
Did you do that alone?
I did. Yeah.
You did 102 miles alone with
100.
very little water.
104.
104. Sorry.
I didn't
Sorry.
plan the water out. I didn't realize the
Like
reason.
150 watts.
Way more than that. Okay. And I didn't realize the reason nobody rides those roads is because there's no water for like 70 miles.
Yeah.
Like, because those are not.
Did you go to
frequent
Spangle, the high school, Liberty High School, to get water?
No, I ended up detouring down to Rosalia. Like, that added mileage because I was like, I'm gonna die. I was 30 miles from Cheney, and I was out of water.
You
and I was-
didn't. You didn't listen to last week's talk about the bike pack, did you? Yeah, because I led the way, my friend. I was parting the Red Sea of.
Oh, you sent us
Lack
that
of water.
picture of you dying. Like, you looked like your skin was tinting on its own.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and my skin doesn't tint.
No.
Yeah, so it was
tints red.
It was hot death. We know how Paul's week's been. Sam,
Better than
you
his.
you did a mini training
Oh,
camp.
Yep.
BS.
Asshole.
I know. It was good, though, but I I would just say I hit severe fatigue too.
Yeah.
And I had to take Sunday and Monday off. And I went out on the bike just to spin the legs out this morning. But I mean, I was doing I did hard TT efforts because I'm mapping out how long is this TT.
Today you spun the legs out by doing hard TT efforts?
No.
Oh.
On those 3 days that I rode in a row, I was doing 20 to 25 minute TT all out efforts.
Wow.
So, because this TT, I'm planning to do it in it should be less than 25 minutes.
Yeah.
So.
A 10 mile.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, ideally, closer to 20.
Yeah.
This is the Montana race.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
The one
you're going
to.
to.
I am going to that one.
Yeah.
Jackson and I've offered up my TT bars to him because I've just realized that I don't need them.
This is true. This is true. You don't need
By
them.
the way, we have different start times.
We do on the
I
crit.
looked at it. The crit and the road race.
Told you so.
The road race, they start off in groups. They're just launching us off A group,
A group, then B group, then C group.
Are we not all in A group?
So, Jackson, how was your ride week?
Yeah, I know.
As
Patrick.
your cousin calls you, Patrick.
Oh no! He found out the inside track. How's your ride week been, dude?
It's been good. Really productive.
All right.
I was asked to do specific work on climbs, and
You were asked.
I was asked specifically.
When did you become the leader of this fucking
Who else is
tribe?
going all out for a time trial?
I am.
Yeah,
I
that's
just
what I
won't have arrow bars
So
on.
I'm clearly the GC guy then. If
Oh
if
my
you
God,
if
you
you're
egotistical ass.
if you I mean, I'm willing to sacrifice myself on everything else, but if I'm going all out for the TT, that puts me in the GC lead of everyone at this table.
Not everybody at this table. I'm apparently racing bees.
He's got his own race.
Oh no, right?
But
yeah,
yes. So I was asked to do some climbing, or to just be in good climbing shape because I didn't really ride for a long time. But I didn't ride that much. But little did I know that riding my local gravel loop is only climbing, so I'm not as screwed as I thought I was.
Yeah.
And I got 3 rides, and
You're feeling
be
good.
good.
You're feeling good.
Yep.
It's gonna be fun.
I will say the reason why I am not going to the Last Best Ride. I've donated my entry fee to the Last Best Ride, very much Sam style.
It's a good. It feels good though, right?
You know what? I after the bike pack, and then this weekend, my wife and I went to a concert in Sandpoint. We are old, so we saw Train and Better Than Ezra. Paul's
I know,
nodding.
yeah.
Paul's nodding.
Oh, I'm familiar.
Train.
And we had a good time. This is adult alternative kind of cheese rock, things like that. And then the next day, we got up, we went into town for breakfast, and then I rode home. And I did 84 miles home. And although I felt just fine, the whole way, I mean, I did get pretty dang tired towards the end. My shoulders and back, and I was feeling some of those fatigue points that I felt at the bikepacking trip, and I was going, I'm good with this for a while. I don't know if I want to feel that endurance. Ouch, my body, I can't even reach into my back jersey pocket, and I'm cool with going fast for a little bit. I mean, the phases shift in and out, right? And so I just decided that it's I don't want to go and spend 6 hours riding Chatterpumps this weekend. I just don't feel like it. And so I decided, no, I'm not going to do it. And because the World Championships are this weekend, I was like, I want to have a World Championships watch party. And I want to go to Oppenheimer potentially all by myself this weekend. And all those types of things. And by the way, I'm fine with that. Screw you guys. I put out the invitation, and everybody's just like, I got ghosted on the whole Oppenheimer thing. But so
I know how it turns out.
yeah, the bomb goes off.
Yeah.
I don't do opera. It sounds like it would be an opera.
I think it is an opera. I think there is like an Adam Boy or something like that, like opera.
Fat man and little boy.
Fat man and widow boy.
Fat man and widow boy.
Fat man and widow boy.
Give you a shampoo.
Exactly.
So I want to kind of take us, even though we hit some time with Paul's. I want to go to a mini topic, and I want to just ask you guys about seasonal burnout. You guys aren't hopefully experiencing it. Sam's eyes just got huge. Are you?
I don't know yet.
Okay. How's everybody holding up so far in terms of seasonal burnout?
I'm doing fucking great. I'm just pissed off. Sorry.
2. That's 2.
Yeah.
He's gonna outdo you tonight.
Oh, I'm holding back.
You need
Don't
to
get me
give
started.
him, just loan them to him tonight.
Paul. You have 3 more.
Oh, no.
You have 4 more technically. David, how you holding up? I mean, mentally burnout probably because of the job, but does it affect your cycling life?
I think it's doing me favors in the cycling realm. Like Saturday, I finished another 6 days of nights in a row Saturday morning, and that's why Sunday I was just like, I want nothing more than to just sit on my bike all day.
Yeah.
Like that sounds excellent for today. And I think it's because I've been working so much and haven't had time to ride that I'm still mentally not fatigued from cycling as I have been in the prior years around this time. Like this is usually when it happens, which sucks because it's when it's like really nice out.
It is.
And
And we don't have smoke.
Yeah, it's a great year for it.
How is everybody else holding up?
I mean, I've had a weird year, like an excellent year. Like, don't get me wrong. But in terms of cycling, I have had a weird year that like I started off pretty hot and then I crashed, and that just kind of like derailed like pretty much everything. I couldn't train, I couldn't like race in the way I wanted to race. Because as they don't tell you a lot, but when you crash, mentality is the last thing to come back.
Yeah.
And so that's been really weird. And then marriage on that, which that's the reason why I say it's been so great, because it has been. But
Well said.
But then
She might be listening.
she's at
There's
work.
no way.
But now I'm coming back into it, and it's like I realize what it's like to go fast again, what it's like to train hard again, and it's something that I'm getting really excited about now.
Yeah.
And so I think that what David kind of nailed perfectly there was like at this point I would have begun to just kind of want to taper a little bit, just kind of take my time. Oh, September's coming eventually. Summer's not over, as we said earlier, but it's time to take that time off. But I'm getting into that mode where it's like I just want to go. Especially in August, that's how I get sometimes. So
Go ahead. Go.
I'm just gonna say, like, I don't know how many miles I'm at this year. I mean, it's not like anything astronomical. I think I'm somewhere around 3,500 or something.
Yeah.
But like, I've been pretty specific on training this year. Like, I feel like I've done a pretty good job of that. Like, I've ridden fast for the majority of the season. And I think I'm just kind of hitting, my body just hits this point where it's like, God, I'm just tired. And maybe I have a bug or something that I'm not aware of, but I just like my energy levels are just low. You know,
Probably
like
low T. You've suffered your whole life with that.
You're the worst. I hate you. And so,
Testicular
anyway,
hypoplasia.
that's why his voice is so much
Sorry,
lower
I promised
than yours.
Mom I wouldn't tell you. I knew.
this is what I have to deal with.
I really hope that came through on the podcast end where people can hear the shit you guys are throwing at each other.
But so like I found myself this morning like thinking like I really hope this isn't burnout. Like I hope I'm not just getting tired. It is that point where it's like we're getting ready to go to Switzerland in 3 weeks, and so there hits that point where it's like, how much am I taking out of our time together, my wife and I, to, you know, like being selfish and riding? And so then those stresses come into it, and it's like, at that point, I'm always like, well, done biking. I'm always going to choose, you know, like hanging out with her or doing things with her, as opposed to like, oh, I know you want to hang out, but like, I'm going to go ride.
Yeah.
So it just kind of hits that life balance where I'll always default to taking time off the bike. I don't think I'm there, but we'll see by the time we get to Montana.
Yeah. Is anybody else? No. Okay.
I'm just pissed off.
You're just pissed off. I'm just like, I hate the world. Everybody can burn. I'm kind of it's an interesting point because the beginning of the season was taken for specific reasons, and now I'm starting to get, like today I did hill intervals, and I really kind of felt good. Now my numbers weren't, they were close to where they've been, but they aren't exactly. I'm not destroying anything. They were where almost to where I should be, and so that's great. I got to beat demons out of my head, but there we go. So does anybody have a, well, Paul, especially you? I mean, nationals are a little, when are nationals? Late August, right?
25th is the road race, and the 27th is crit.
That's a late season as compared to new standards.
Well,
it's not a late season as opposed to the 80s and 90s where we were like, we're still doing all kinds of shit well into September. And then nobody said fucking cross is coming until at least late September. Mm-hmm. Now they're just like, cross is coming. It's like, it's August. Shut the hell up.
Well, for me,
it's because we just got cross is coming.
Next thing we know is the tour finishes. Cross
is coming.
Yeah.
Shut up.
Well, for me, it's hard for me not. Racing is what gives me like goosebumps, and that's why I ride. And I don't get burned out if I race. I get burned out if I don't race.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard. There's no incentive. Go out, and it's fun banging heads.
You need some on the calendar.
No,
or on the horizon.
It's usually not so much that, it's after a race. The high is just like lingers, and it's just, I want another hit, and I want.
You're an endorphin junkie.
Yeah, I love the RC3. I just thought, I can't wait. I'm chomping at the bit for nationals because it's just this whole thing of, in the middle of the race, getting to that point where I didn't mention this, but in the crit, I knew exactly what to do. And I know it's lack of race readiness. I mean, doing a lot of racing. Coming in that last corner, I watch these guys, this team, going the wrong way, and I can shoot this gap by the curb, and it's the shortest. And I was, as soon as they're making that move, but the guy leading off kind of set up and pulled up, which forced the guy in front of me hit his brakes, which I overlapped, so I had to hit my brakes. And then he jumps, I can see him. I have a split second I used to just respond, but I had to react and think. But when you're race minded, when you do a lot of race, you just do it. I should have still done what I was planned on, but I thought, I need to follow him because I lost a little bit. I still would have came out ahead, and I didn't. I lost by a good, like a bike length, but it would have been a completely different. I don't know if I would have won.
So this is
that's the stuff.
This is the shit that keeps you going.
Yeah, that stuff. That's what bike racing is to me.
Okay.
I was burnt out after RC3. I was like, save it, Sam. That's why I was like, we got to get this Montana race on the calendar because I was ready to be like, I'm done. Season's over.
It's gonna be a fun little weekend.
Yeah,
I know.
We're all in different moods.
You guys were so like,
we've got the slacker, almost burned out. The guy, it's been, I haven't rode for a while, and then we got this guy, got a new bike, a new heaven. I'm married.
Yeah, this is like the best. Yeah. This is honestly the best case scenario for me going into a race. I got nothing to lose.
I'm scared to switch to Ace.
You shouldn't be. I would say this. I was telling Mackenzie, and she's now like, because I will say, like, when I was first talking about this, it's really close to our anniversary, and that was talk of, like, that was our anniversary weekend, and now she's letting me do that the next weekend.
Dick!
I know. How awesome is my wife, right?
Yeah.
So now we're celebrating it the next weekend, but even she's excited because she sees my excitement that this is like what it was in collegiate cycling, right? This is what collegiate cycling was. You had your group, and you went to these races, and it was an A, B, C, and so it was like, it was just so much fun to hang out with everybody and have like combined categories that like I'm stoked. I don't really care what happens this weekend.
Good, so I can race Bs and kind of be average in the Bs, and you guys won't.
Yeah,
be
you
shit
can
about
totally
it.
not
I
be
feel
a
like
part
we
of the
care
group.
about that. Yeah.
Yeah,
You do.
you can totally not be a part of the group.
Yeah.
The demons.
But you have to eat at different restaurants.
Yeah,
I know.
You don't get to join us at all.
Or if you do,
what hotel are you staying in? Because I think I might need to change.
I'll sleep in the car.
Excellent.
Perfect.
I was like, hey, it's perfect world. We're all racing at the same time. Nothing's perfect. Nothing's perfect anymore. All right. Screw you guys. Let's take a look at some of the headlines of the sport. Oh, I got to play my news intro. Let's take a look at the headlines of the sport brought to us by our friends at Cycle Systems Online. You like working on bikes? You have a proper skill set? Shit, that's loud.
It's very hot.
It's really loud.
Cycle Systems Online.
Like working on bikes, have a proper skill set? How about being up to date on all things bike mechanics? Well, you can now get all the skills and keep going until you've mastered the art with Cycle Systems Online. Full mechanics training program for everybody from the newbie to the full shop pro, and I shit you not. It is a yearly plan, and it is at your pace or skill level. Jackson is enrolled, and Jackson has a little update for it. How's it going, dude?
Great, yeah. I think something that I really wanted to highlight this week was the fact that I've got two things. It won't take too long though.
No, you're fine.
Number one is what I really enjoy about them is they've got a really user-friendly interface, and to break that down a little bit, and what I mean is that it's not that easy it's not that hard to navigate their course. There's the 3 lines on the top that we've all become accustomed to at this point, being in an online world. Tap on that, and it instantly can take you to anywhere you want to go. And that's great. As somebody who wants something that's streamlined, quick and easy to figure out what I want, that is the platform that I have dreamt of. And I'm very happy that they did it the way they did.
Yeah.
The other thing that I really wanted to highlight was, and it might seem like a small thing, but for somebody who sometimes worries about breaking their bike, it's something that I really appreciate. It's like they give you, the way that each class is delivered gives you a sense of confidence that you can do this even if before you feel like you couldn't. This last week, I removed my cranks for the first time. I have never done that on my own. And I think that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Because a class, like I watched 4 videos, and they give you kind of a roundup of how to do it, but even if it's not the exact way, they've kind of like talked you into a sense of confidence, which I really appreciate. And so I went to my gravel bike and I went, I'm going to remove these cranks because there's been a noise that's going on. And I removed them. I made sure everything was fine. And then I put them back in and I tightened them all the way. And I know that they're going to run fine and everything's going to go well. And now I know how to do that forever.
Yeah.
And I think that's some really valuable information, along with the previous things that I've mentioned in our segments about the things that I've learned. And now I feel like I am on my way to understanding the entire bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, that's awesome. I think
cool.
I mentioned last week is I found a video on installing Di2 and wirelessly or wired connecting to the entire Di2 system and setting it up to your bike. And these are all just video links within this network. So you can go everything from, how to repair a flat and tires and tubes, which we all know is now a gigantic myriad of confusion. When we're talking about hooked versus hookless, and stuff like that. I keep wanting to say hooker, but all these things that just keep diving down this, and then you've got the highest end of the realm on this entire thing. So it's great. So be sure to check it out. Tour de France Femmes, powered by Swift, concluded this past weekend. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna ask for honesty, gentlemen. Who's up to speed on everything with the Tour de France Femmes? Paul raised his hand. Jackson raised his hand. Sam kind of raised a finger. David shook his head. You are just
a disappointment.
Yes.
What are you
yes.
working
Just
nights?
like Mom said.
Yeah. What are you eating? Big bowl of cereal?
Yeah.
Should have watched bike races while you were doing it. Not so subtle changing of the guard. Team SD Works continued. Whoop!
Jeez, man.
First time.
I
First time.
I bumped the first time. Be gentle. Team SD Works continued their stronghold on the women's peloton with a powerful show of force by Demi Vollering and Lotte Kopecky. Wow. To take the first 2 spots overall after Sunday's time. When was the last time we had a Tour de France first and second on the same team? It hasn't been too long.
It was
but
Bradley Wiggins and Chris Froome.
Mm-hmm.
We almost had it this year.
the second
in
and
the
third.
men's, yeah.
Second and third, yeah.
But
And I'm trying to
that's
think.
not a Bradley Wiggins and Chris Froome was an interesting Greg LeMond Bernardino.
Yeah,
because Chris Froome could clearly win, but Brad was the chosen person to win that year.
Yeah.
Anyway,
So the final time trial secured Vollering the win. Kopecky jumping 2 spots to move into second. Kesiniwi Doma brought home the third spot with really aggressive riding on her part. I was impressed with her riding in the entire race. It's just something in the minds of Canyon SRAM, maybe their specific director, might have triggered some aggressive tactical changes. And it was great to see Canyon SRAM light it up. It also marked the last big tour of Annemiek van Vleuten, who still managed 4th overall and a definite love of all cycling fans around the world. So for our people who were able to catch up and keep up with it and stuff like that, I know that we get to the end of a tour, and this is also something I want to ask about the fact that the men's tour ends on the same day the women's tour begins. Is this a productive idea? Is this a good idea? Or is this riding a wave of popularity? Or is this maybe we should separate the two and allow a little bit of reset and excitement to build again? But anyway, observations from the Women's Tour de France. Anybody?
I thought it was it was eventful, especially because they only have 8 days to like prove their fitness for that yellow jersey. And I think that, I'm not going to pat myself on the back, but I was the one who did say a couple months ago, I feel like Demarie Vollering is our next Annemiek van Vleuten.
You just patted yourself on the back by saying
I didn't physically do it. So it doesn't count.
Just verbally did.
Yeah.
I see. I get it.
But I genuinely do think that we are seeing a next generational talent in Demi Vollering, and it's crazy to see how SD Works can really just run a show entirely.
Yeah.
Even without their world-class sprinter, Lorena Wiebes. But it was really cool, and I was really happy to see Kassianiwi Adoma get some sort of result out of all of the work that she's done over the past year. I follow her on Instagram, and to see how happy she was, and I also do kind of like how she and Taylor Phinney kind of how they are with each other. I think they're really they're heartwarming in a lot of ways. Just the way they are with each other, how supportive he is. It's really cool, and I love that. But also talking about whether or not this is a productive time for the women's tour, it's a difficult question to answer, because I think that it's great bringing the hype off of the men's tour, but then it brings up the question: does the women's tour need the hype of the men's tour, and could it be ran in, let's say, June? Because then there is also, as we talked about, tour fatigue as well. We've come off of the Giro in May, late-ish May. Yeah. And then I think there is that gap there that could be filled by a tour, because we're filled by...
The Giro Donna was almost like a week ago.
See, and that's what's tough, because you bring up a lot. It's difficult in scheduling, because then you push it too late, then nobody's going to want to watch it, because it's too late in the season. Everybody's been watching so much cycling, so it's like, this is kind of the only time.
Yeah.
And I think that it does... Ending off the men's tour, it's just like, oh, you love cycling, keep watching.
Yeah.
So it's difficult.
The formula kind of works, I think, on the one day of Paris-Roubaix, because you have Saturday, you have the women's and then the men's, and it really does work that way.
Yeah,
I think it does, but I don't know. I'm thinking, because listening to podcasts and stuff, to those that stay on course through the men's and women's, I'm like, wow. That would be quite an assignment.
Yeah.
If you'd be fatigued. And I don't know. It's hard to say. I'd like to see the feedback. Again, I've mentioned it last week, is what the women actually think. Have their input is more important than what we think. But I think it finds its spot. It will find its spot.
Marianne Martin would really like, I don't know, return to 3-week racing probably.
Yeah.
But, I think we should go back to 3-week racing for the entire event.
Explain who she is to the young
Marianne
boys.
Martin?
The
first winner of the Tour de France.
Oh, I did
First
watch
American winner of the Tour de France.
I watched a
She won.
documentary?
She won before Le Mans. Yeah.
Yeah. Yes,
She
she
was
did.
the first American winner of the Tour de France.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah. By the way, she's also
Yes. Interviewed.
been on the Packfiller.
What?
Right? You just got to dive into the archives of this.
Just
archive.
way
People
back.
people say I spend way too much time down here, but I'm doing shit.
It wasn't always down here.
No, it wasn't. No, Jesus. Sometimes our dining room looked like an absolute nightmare. So, in terms of timing, speaking of timing, the World Championships of this weekend, starting with men's road race happening on Sunday, which is so freaking weird to have it this early, but it used to be this early or earlier, right? It's a little more September.
Usually, yeah, it's after. Typically, in the last, I think, decade or more, it's been right after the Vuelta. A lot of people use the Vuelta as a tune-up.
Yeah, and this is why I'm not going to Montana. I'm doing this for you guys, so we can have coffee and watch the race properly here in the pub.
Yeah, that's great.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Sure.
Glasgow, hosting all disciplines of the world, which is huge. I mean, everything, the entire cycling world championships all being held there. And we're going to be tackling and picking each of the big road events over the next couple of weeks. But first, the men's road race. The course is the first thing I'd like to ask you guys about. I don't know if you've seen anything about that. Big climb early. And then a circuit that appears to have a few short climbs, but mostly is fairly technical. And I've actually heard some commentary. I can't remember who said it over the Tour de France commentary on Eurosport, was actually saying that he disapproves of the course itself because of its technical nature. That there are corners, that there are potential crash moments. So there has been some criticism. Thought on what such a course could favor in terms of specific riders, or teams or anything like that.
I think it's going to be, I mean, with technicality involved, I think it's going to be one of those races that brings a late breakaway possibility. Somebody who's really, really strong in those technical areas catches the sprinters off guard, and then there they are riding away with like a 5-second lead.
Yeah.
You know, things like little gaps like that can become gargantuan to fill. And so I'd
whittling down kind of thing.
Yeah,
like that.
and so I'd be really interested to see almost like I'm not picking my winners right now.
No.
But like a Fred Wright or a Magnus Cort could do something like that. Somebody that can just get away in the final little bits, that has the guts to do it. I just hope they're not Belgian. And I know, Paul, breaking the hearts.
Well, Belgium obviously seems to be the powerhouse.
They always are.
Yeah, this doesn't always seem to be a guaranteed win with a gigantic team. Sometimes you've got that inner battle.
And they're forced to be the biggest team.
Yeah.
They're forced to do all the chasing and the break.
Yeah.
So they have to balance it out. And they have two very strong potential winners.
Oh, my God. Victor Kampenaerts, Friesen, Lampert, Stuyven, Van Hooijdonk, Benoot, Philipsen, and Evenepoel, and Wanaer.
But one team has to do it all.
Yeah.
And they can't get back somebody in the final K.
Okay, if you were the Belgian director, Paul Main, if you were the Belgian director, how would you handle this group of personalities?
I'd have them take out the whole team to sweep out Evenepoel.
Yeah.
Yeah. We don't need, not
You'd be the
Vanderpool,
Belgian
not Vanderpool, but Evenepoel. I don't want
as
him
the
in
Belgian team director, you would
Take him
wipe
out of
out your
I
biggest
don't want him
leader.
there.
Jasper. You would leave Jasper in there? And
No, I'm saying I don't want Evenepoel on the team.
No, I know.
All
I
the
don't want
others are
Jasper.
fine because it's all about Wout. You want to work for Wout, and
Yeah, do you think that Philipsen is going to work for anyone
it's
besides
not
Philipsen?
come down to a sprint. It will not come down to a
Worlds
sprint.
never
It
really
is-
does.
It is a course that's designed really, really good for Wout because it's technical. He's a cyclocrosser. He's got bike handling skills, especially if it starts raining.
Yeah,
Well,
if it
same
gets
thing
wet.
with
Evenepoel's
Vanderpool.
got better, but after his crash at Lombardia, I mean, the guy's not the best when it comes to that. And if he did win the sprint at San Sebastian, but that's a rarity. He has to be on his own to win, and that's the only way he can win. Wout can win, as we know, is any way you want to give it to him, he can win. So I would say
one of Paul's picks.
yeah, yeah, that's one. So I think that it will be tough because their teams are going to play off of Belgium. They have the most numbers. They have the strongest team. So
If any of you guys could pick, and I'll open this up, if you could pick any other country to direct, can't be Belgium, who would it be, and who would you gamble on?
Slovakia so I could meet Peter Sagan.
What?
You just that would be it. You just do it just for the fandom.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Did you see him smoking a cigar on the Champs Elysees? He looked like a dork smoking a cigar on the Champs Elysees. It's just like going, "Oh, that's what I look like when I smoke a cigar. I look really stupid." I'm glad I quit that habit. It wasn't a habit. I'm just like,
United States of America.
you'd pick America.
Yeah, I would.
You would. And what would be your tactic? Because you Lawson Craddock, Matteo Jorgensen, Nelson Paulus, Magnus Sheffield, Quinn Simmons, and Sean Quinn.
I would
That's
say
not
Matteo
a
or
bad
Nielsen.
team.
I know. I would say both Matteo Jorgensen and Nielsen Paulus. I think that both of them, like, I would save Matteo Jorgensen for probably a final, like, flurry of an attack. Like what Jackson was saying towards the end. And I would, Nielsen Paulus, I would say, he's like a David at a dog at a squirrel park, or just like let him rip.
Yeah. Yeah. David, you okay with that?
Yeah, I think I would be honored to be compared to him. Yeah.
No, that you tend to be a little jerky when you're riding. You're just like, oh, go. I'm an attack. Squirrel.
As long as people are hurt, I don't care.
Yeah,
Oh.
see, and that's how Nielsen Paulus is.
Yeah.
Jackson, what country would you direct? You can't pick Belgium.
No, I was not. I don't want to. I would pick.
Nobody wants that.
Yeah, I have a tough time separating my picks between France and Denmark, honestly. You see some really good riders on both, but I think that France probably has more of a one person that they probably want to get across the line first.
Julian?
Yep.
Really?
Or
I'm thinking Christophe.
Christophe.
I was going to say,
I think Laporte is
Christophe
there.
Laporte. I think that could be a kind of a two-pronged attack, which, as we've seen, hasn't really worked that well. But I think the French team is pretty good. Whether they can produce on the day, I think, is very up in the air, though.
It's because they're so emotional. The French wear their emotions on their sleeves. It's like,
I think
They're pretty good at losing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I do think Alaphilippe has shown some somewhat good form within the tour.
aggression during
I don't
the
think
tour.
he's shown good form. I think he's shown incredible race tactics. Like,
Well,
he's just always in the
yeah.
right place.
Yeah.
And as
He
a-
just doesn't have the fitness.
And as a two-time world champion, I think that he'd want to equal that 3-time of Peter Sagan.
Totally.
So I could see
and
that
Eddie
going on.
Merckx.
And
Yeah.
And I think
That's
his
gonna be
fitness
a
is coming
fourth.
around.
I was
be a
thinking
fourth.
about, like,
Whoa.
there was a year when Alaphilippe did win, and the tour, he was just making these stupid attacks.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck? And it was later on, it was all training for
Yeah.
Worlds.
Yeah.
And that's
This
yeah,
year.
I started thinking this year, same thing.
Yep.
That's what he's
He was in
aiming
all the right moves. He just didn't have the
Made it
fitness to get to the
for.
line.
Finish. Yep.
Yep. But, like, I mean, heck, if he's training, like, doing that,
Yep.
I do agree with that.
So at this point, we have touched base on every single element of the race. So it's time to pick. We're not going to punishment this one, are we? No, because you can't punishment. There are no points
Worlds is
involved.
so random,
The
too.
winner should just get something, right?
Yeah.
First of all, there's a lot of noise happening outside the studio right now. Hopefully, it's not the end of the world, because I don't want to sit down here with you guys until we all burst into dust. So the concept is to pick 3 riders. You do not have to pick them in any particular order, and you go from there. You can gamble on a little outside elements. You can stick to the favorites, or you can do whatever strikes your fancy, or you can go all American like Sam, little MAGA guy over there.
Pretty much.
So, for example, my 3 picks, I will go first. I am picking Mathieu van der Poel, because Mathieu van der Poel, I think, he's been focusing on this. He's been dialed into this. I am picking Wout van Aert because duh. And I'm picking Mads Pedersen from Denmark because I think he
love
gets
that.
over that hill, and the hill is so early that I think he's got the pop. He's got the, and my God, if it rains, he could just double up and do like he did in the last Worlds.
I'd really like that for him.
Those are my 3 picks.
Then you'd be able to wear the rainbow jersey
for the
through
whole
season.
year.
Yeah.
Yeah, for a
Couple
year
of
when
days.
it wasn't
Yeah.
covered by everybody wearing masks and blaming a bird.
A bat.
Bad. It was
Yeah.
bad. It was bad. Well, yeah. Jackson, do you want to go next?
Sure.
Since I'm making eye contact with you.
I am going to pick Julien Alaphilippe. I think I am also going to pick somebody that nobody surprisingly talked about, Tadej Pogacar.
I picked him
I
too.
can't believe I didn't pick him because God knows he's flying, and God knows he's got the ability to win a single day race.
I think he is one of the top, most aggressive riders in this entire race, and he will probably try his best, even though last year didn't really go that well. There's always another day for Tadej.
that would be pretty cool.
And I do genuinely think here that this is going to be our 2023-2024 world champion, Mathieu van der Poel.
You do.
Yeah, I really do. I think that he is... Give him a one day where it matters, that guy's unstoppable.
Yeah.
And I'm not picking a Belgian because I think there's too many stars in one basket.
Yep. Too many eggs in that basket.
Yep.
Samuel.
Okay. Tade is my pick. Like, he is my pick. I'll throw in a couple other ones
Just for fun.
for sprinkles, but I'll even tell you how this race is going to be won with Tade.
Oh, wow.
Do you guys remember Milan Sanremo? Last little punchy hill and
Yeah, that Mathieu van der Poel one?
Yes.
The one that he out sprint and beat Toddy. That one. Yeah, go ahead.
That one?
Yes.
No,
Yeah, okay.
please continue.
Hear me out.
Inform us.
Hear me out.
With your brilliance.
That is what's going to happen, but it will be Tade delivering the hit and time trialing to the finish.
What are you doing, you moron?
Telling you.
I think there's
And
a
when I
possibility.
am right and I'm that spot on,
Okay.
you all can eat my words. But
Okay.
I'll throw out a couple other ones just because I'm not going to pick Wout. I think that he's like, even though I circled the one here, I think he's someone to look for. Same with Remco, but I don't want to pick any of the Belgians. Instead,
Wow.
I'm going to go Matteo Jorgensen. And you know who I'm also going to be crazy with is Michael Kwiatkowski. Technical rider. Obviously showed some good form at the
and a
tour.
previous
And a
world
previous
Yeah,
world
previous
champ.
world champ.
knows how to win it.
All right.
I'm just throwing some curveballs here.
All right.
But
No.
Tade's going to win.
Okay.
I
Okay.
would love that.
Paul?
I picked all Belgians. No, I did.
You have to.
Yeah.
Belgians and Germans.
Of course, Wout, and I did a couple of long shots. That's, and I went with Ankorn, Pascal Ankorn, for the Netherlands. I think he's not going to be as marked. He might be off, and he had a couple of wonderful stages towards the end of the tour where he was right there, and then Niels Pollitt, also he's another breakaway motor. They could possibly get away.
Okay.
Those are mine.
I noticed that there's a specific name missing from the Great Britain. Mr.
Pidcock?
Pidcock.
Yeah.
Mr. Pidcock.
I would have possibly chosen him. Maybe.
You just want two because
No, I want three,
obviously you know that Peter Sagan.
Look at how many times. Look how many times Peter Sagan circled
I
on
just
his.
I just sat here. and
He's just
like,
been sitting here and he's just
what
like
I would
this.
do for the one-on-one
Drawing
attention.
little
You are
hearts.
a fanboy.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
How can you not be?
I know.
In
Because
our
he doesn't
era-
shave his legs. That's
Because
what he likes.
because at the end of the tour this year, the interviews were like, "Hey, Peter, how are you? I'm tired. How do you feel after all this? I'm tired.
For someone who's been with him,
What
as
are your
long
futures for the future? I don't know. I'm tired. I'm just glad it's over. I mean, it was
Give
just
me
like,
a cigar.
oh my god, yeah.
as, for somebody who's been with him as long as I have, it's been a hard road.
Yeah.
It's been a hard road the past
last
couple of years.
5 years.
Okay, last like 2.
Yeah.
No,
Still-
he hasn't
Yeah,
been good
Sam.
since the beginning of COVID.
Still Hall of Fame.
So
He was
that's
in good
career.
bunch before then.
I wouldn't mind if he
That's
was
3
not
years,
good,
Sam.
but it is sad to see
It's
him like losing interest.
2020, 2019.
Yeah.
Like he
So who else do you have? though?
Say David. Yeah.
Five
yeah,
years.
say
Wout,
David.
He was
Wout
good
and
before
Tade.
it.
I wasn't going to do anything interesting.
Wout and Tade.
Yeah.
Wout, Tade, and
Just-
Peter Sagan.
Close your eyes and point to one. You got to do 3. Just
He did.
He said Wout, Tade, and Peter Sagan.
Peter.
oh, Peter.
Yeah.
Got you.
And he is meaning that. He's serious. He thinks that Peter will win.
What a great way to go out.
if
just-
he got a 4-peat,
And then he
No.
could just quit and stop being sad all the time.
Yeah.
Somebody saying
DUI
they're
who?
like holding his family hostage. Win this race and everything will be fine.
you'll never be sad again.
Oh my God! So we got a couple segments we got to run through. I'm just calling them not quick tips. I'm calling them fit tips with Bike Fit Sam.
I'm
Us
first
brought,
again.
Brought to us. Well, you are because
You came on the show first.
yeah.
God, I love that.
Yeah.
And then he dragged his ass in.
Yeah.
Yeah, powered by Ambassador
ass,
Cycling. Check out ambassadorcycling.com. Schedule a time with this guy we know who can actually get you dialed in on your position. What do you got for us, Chief?
God, there are so many things.
Just one.
Yeah, I know.
Just one.
Let's. I mean, no, it's not quite this season.
One.
Okay, I am going to say, let's do handlebars because we're going to circle back to that. And you are a perfect case of this, right?
Now, people don't know who you are.
You are
because it's
Pat
an audio
Bulger.
podcast.
Yeah, it's everything about you.
Oh, okay.
This is your podcast, Pat.
Well, then why don't I get to answer all the questions?
That's a great
Am
question.
I the idiot writing 6 pages of
Yeah, and spending all of his
fucking
time in
prep?
the basement.
Yeah.
But
Why don't I have friends?
so do yourself a favor and
Quit.
no, don't do that. If we want to make this super simple
Race
for
fees?
your
Buy an e-bike?
I feel like I've broken you.
Yes, buy any bike.
You don't get the credit of breaking me. I would never
A day
give you
in
the
my
credit
mind
of
has
my...
broken me.
Oh my God, the demons in my brain would bury you.
He was broken before you were born. I'm just telling you.
God. When your idea of a good time was gnawing on a fudgesicle and watching Looney Tunes, I was messed up. Jackson's like going, I can't make eye contact with my dog.
this
He'll
is
yell at
true.
me again.
I was just looking at the names on the world's list. Sorry, I'm listening. I promise.
Sorry, Sam.
okay.
This is your segment.
Yes. So keep your life simple for both drop bars and mountain bike bars. Your wrist form should be just like you were reaching out to shake someone's hand, right? Nice, like straight palm, everything. So if you're doing it on the hoods, right? Straight up and down, thumb up and down, reach down towards your hoods. If you have a crease on either your thumb side of your wrist, or so that's your radial side or your ulnar side, it's wrong. You need to either rotate your bars up or down.
But you told me to rotate my levers in before it was popular.
And that's still a thing because
Okay.
a lot of the time we have them coming either straight out or even if you look at your bars, I
Wide.
bet you that they're coming wide. And
Mine are in now.
yours are in
Yeah.
now because once again, it's
'Cause it's
reaching
cool.
out and shaking someone's hand, right? And your wrist should be nice and neutral. And same thing with a handlebar, with a mountain bike bar, right? If you rest your hand on the bike bars, they should be straight out when you're reaching all the way down to the levers,
Okay.
right? You catching that one?
No broken
And so, yeah,
one way
like
or another.
if your brake levers are too high, what ends up happening is you're basically flexing your wrists back and you get a lot of pressure through your carpal tunnel.
I need another fit
Yeah, you do need another fit.
because I'm getting numb hands
Yeah.
on my road bike.
Yep, we should do that.
God damn it.
Hey, you know what? I know a guy
Do
who
you?
sponsors the podcast
Okay.
who could fit you.
Yeah. Let's do it. We haven't had an Ask Dr. David for a while. So, and we still don't have a sponsor for this segment, but I think I got one lined up. So, just letting you know, they're not going to give you anything. They're just going to, they just want to sponsor it. And I think you hopefully are up to speed on this one.
Maybe.
This was supposed to be on last week's, and it was talking about concussions in cycling. And the fact that we would see major crashes happening during the tour and these rolling diagnoses happening, and the effectiveness of that, and what somebody would look for in those moments, and can you BS your way through a concussion test? So basically, my first part of the question is, can it be properly diagnosed while rolling along in a bike race? If so, what do you look for? And if not, how can people bullshit their way through it?
You mean rolling like during the race?
Even if you're on the
'Cause you
side
hit
of the
the deck
road
and
and
you
somebody
get up
crashes,
Like, you good?
Do
You
they,
good?
Do they do that in the like the medical card? Or they have them like?
They have
Apparently
they
so.
have- they have a concussion protocol.
Oh,
Somebody goes down, hits their head, then they go through a protocol.
yeah.
sorry.
No, you're good. You're good. It's just you were perfect. It's just I just wanted to bring it a little closer to you.
Okay.
No, you don't have to get
Close to it.
You can stay where you were. It's like a 4-year-old with a medical degree.
All right. So That's true. So the concussion training that we get in U.S. medicine largely revolves from football.
Okay.
And they have protocols. I don't know the cycling protocols, and I don't know what they use for concussion testing. But there's no way you can fake it through the ones that we use. It judges your reaction time to certain questions, the way your eyes move. There's no way you can like just brush it off and fake it.
Okay.
So if they're doing a proper assessment in the car, if they're actually getting...
They're not like the stammering questions like, have you ever thought about somebody sexually other than your spouse?
No,
Where's
shit.
I mean, it could be that question, but they're going to judge your response in the moment to when they did it before. Because they need to... Everything has to be compared to when you did it in a normal state of mind.
Oh, wow.
And... I really don't know what they do, but I cannot imagine that it's sufficient in a car when you're on a bike. Like you really, because you didn't, unless they did the test beforehand when you were in a race, there's no way you can compare somebody's reaction time to a concussion test on the bike in a race to when they were sitting down like in an office or something.
Wow.
So that is concerning.
Do you guys remember that? Like, is it Goins or Scoot? Like some guy.
Tom Scoons.
Yeah, the crashing at the Tour of California.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
He was staggering and
he was like got up and he's like kind of like tripping all over the place.
Immediately,
and they let him
no.
get on the bike.
Immediately, no.
And that.
Yeah.
And
what is this protocol?
There are going to be
but
those red
that
flags.
that started the protocol.
Oh, okay.
It started
Okay.
after that. There was so
But
much.
so you're saying, David, that there almost needs to be a pre-existing file on hand with specific reactions, or can you?
That's how you do it in most professional sports in the U.S. You have to do a concussion protocol beforehand, especially in football, and then if you have a sufficient hit to the head, you have to go repeat that.
Wow.
And if there's any discrepancy, then there's protocols that I'm not familiar with how long you sit out and yada yada yada, and it's a long time.
Yeah.
It's way longer nowadays than it used to be. It used to be like, I'll sit out for 3 days and you'll be fine. But I mean, the damage that we see in football players from repetitive head traumas, like causing early dementia or prolonged headaches later in life that you can't control with anything except for maybe opiates or something. It's very evident that you can't just ignore these things. And so, like, I mean, a great rule of thumb: if you hit your head and your helmet is damaged, in our world, you probably should just stop.
Yeah.
If you're not a professional, like, you probably should just be done. If your helmet is damaged, you should sit it out.
Jackson, you've dealt with some of these issues. Do you recall like the process and how long it took for you to feel normal about these were soccer related, or one was even
just 2 months ago.
Yeah,
2 months ago when he slammed his face into the pavement. Yeah.
Yeah. Did you consider yourself concussed at that crash?
I think of a sort. I mean, I did get.
Yes.
Yeah. No, I was gonna say the reason I say of a sort is because I think that it wasn't to a length of like, Patrick Mahomes getting hit by a 300-pound linebacker.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think that I was concussed for sure. I remember going to, I'm happy I did it. Mm-hmm. Probably not the best choice. Going to the 24-hour race 2 days later. And I remember sitting there looking at some names and I was like, and then it would click right after that. It was just, there was some fogginess that I knew instantly. I was like, this is not typically how I usually am, because I do have a pretty like unique brain. Like I am like above most. If I'm
patting yourself on the back.
I'm not
again.
patting myself on the back. I was expecting a bigger laugh,
company,
but I'm not.
Really, you're not going too high.
Yeah,
Swimming in a shallow puddle, buddy.
What?
That went over my head.
Man, I'm constantly concussed.
Pervy pills.
But there was a just like a time gap. That was me stuttering on that was not the best timing, of course.
No, you're totally
there was a time
healed.
gap in times that I could like typically just like snap into things, but it's a feeling that is almost indescribable, especially once you smack your head.
You're almost incapable of recognizing it on your own usually, unless it's super severe and you're having like headaches and vision changes.
Yeah, because
people don't recognize mild concussions.
Right, because I think the two people that were there for it, instantly I hopped up and I was like, okay, like I'm fine.
Yeah.
I can do this. Let's go. Yeah.
Yeah.
But and I think that's what most people do,
Yeah.
Really.
unless they can't open their eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
And correct me if I'm wrong. There are a limited amount of concussion moments before you start entering the realm of CTE.
And they get easier and easier to get.
Really?
Mm.
Yeah, you're more prone after the first one. And again, like you can't even like CT, you can't it's not something you can diagnose with imaging. It's a clinical thing. You have to, and that's why it's really important in football, at least they do this pre and post test. The tough thing about racing is how do you stop a race? In a football game, they can leave the stadium, go into the locker room and complete the test.
Yeah.
You can't leave the race.
Yeah.
You're done.
Especially the tour, you're done.
Mm-hmm.
You don't finish that day, you're done. So
Yeah.
And if you're spending 10 minutes on the side of the road conducting some
You're
test,
done.
you're
You're
10
done.
You're
minutes
still
behind.
done. Yeah, you're still
Unless
done.
they
Yeah.
allow you to literally drive you back up to the race and be like, okay, you're good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe they should.
Well, that's what
That's been some of the
doctor's
talk.
car. Yeah, that's what it appears to have been. So, wow. Okay, there we go. Final segment. We're calling it the Final K. This time it's cool stuff. In other words, the brand new Packfiller picks. I got to give credit to Danielle.
The devil.
Yeah,
Danielle Meyer. What a babe.
She came up with the idea. Recommendations posted on the Packfiller Picks link on our homepage. So tonight it's my turn because David didn't understand the instructions.
That his wife set
Yeah.
up the whole program.
His wife did set up the whole thing.
Yeah.
The first one that I'm going to throw out there, and I don't know what you guys do in terms of your riding music. Do you ride with music?
Yeah.
I only when I'm alone, obviously. But these I'm actually holding in my hand as well as they're linked. They're called the Open Fit headphones by Shokz, Shokz. And what's great about these is they had the other pair I have from them are bone. Inner ear bone conduction. These are not. These are more of an open ear. This little speaker fits basically just right over your ear. I'd put them on now, but I'm wearing headphones. And what I've loved about them is 15 hours battery life, way better sound quality. You're getting actual bass out of these things, and you can still hear cars. You can still hear somebody yelling at you on the side of the road. You can't hear what they're saying, which, let's be honest, is bliss.
Well, yeah. Like
Yeah.
Do you
right on
listen-
the
do you listen to
sidewalk.
both?
You know?
Yeah. What's that?
Do you listen to both?
Both headphone sets? Yes. I have both sets, and I bought these when they came out.
No,
I'm
one
saying,
in
like,
each ear.
One in each ear? Yeah. And I can hear, a car approaching. I can hear those types of things. And then I'm getting better audio quality out of the speakers themselves. 15-hour battery life, which is also really cool. So that's my recommendation. $180 is in that link. It's not cheap,
Jesus.
but it's not some of the high end science. What do you guys do
Is that the
if you're doing
brand
music?
it's the same brand as the bone conduction ones I have, but
Yeah.
I found those you can't hear anything when you start having wind noise, the bone conduction. And
Yes.
so that's why something like this would be nicer.
Yeah, wind does drown these out still a little bit, but not as much as the
Yeah.
bone conduction was. So if you're in a high head,
Can't you just turn it up louder?
and they get pretty damn loud. I'm not gonna lie. So that's my first recommendation. What do you guys do for you?
I use my Samsung Bud.
Samsung.
I use
Just one.
Yeah.
I use two.
You do?
I do.
Oh man,
Dude, if
there's
they're
no
gonna
way.
hit me, I'm not
There's
gonna,
no way.
You're not gonna know.
I
It's-
need to know.
I don't want
Either
to.
way.
I don't want to. No.
Jackson, do you ride with music?
Never,
No.
Wow,
You don't?
really?
never will.
How'd you get bored
Never
up
will.
there?
Nope.
It's that above average intelligence.
That is.
Never get bored up there.
If you're gonna bring it up again, I'll say
If you
all
want
right.
to pat my back for me,
I'm smarter than you. And Paul, you're still old school, like white wired
Yeah.
headphones,
Yeah.
right? You still
'Cause they're
run them down the
cheap.
back of your jersey?
They go in my jersey and up into a pocket.
Good man.
Because I always ran them down the back.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the
But the problem with that is they have a tendency to like
Pop
slide
out.
down.
Yeah.
And then you lean forward. And
so do you listen to two then too? Because like when I used to, I'd tuck one in, sort of
Yeah.
hold it, and God, you guys are crazy.
I
You're
don't have
bold.
it hardly
Not with these.
loud
Yeah,
at
but
all.
still.
I hardly
Not
have
with
it loud.
these.
And
I can hear
bet
cars.
I can Well, I can tell you, I hear almost every car that comes by. The only one I don't is the stupid electric cars.
Yeah.
That's the only one that's kind of hard.
Damn
I would have
electric
problems.
cars.
Dumb old electric
Damn it,
cars.
Elon.
Saving the
They're
world.
going to kill us all.
They
I'm
are.
telling you.
Yeah, it's only a matter of time.
Yeah.
My next one is, and I'm sure everybody in this room probably has one. If they don't have one yet, Jackson probably needs one. Is a good old-fashioned Sonic parts cleaner. The one I have is not huge. David, you don't have one?
No, I got Sam his.
Oh.
Because it's such a game changer for
It is.
degreasing.
At least knowing somebody who has one
Yeah.
is a game changer.
Yep.
It's good to know you guys have one.
Yeah, I have one
Yeah.
in there. And it gets the things I need cleaned properly, and you can sometimes convince the significant other because there are things that she wants cleaned that I can just throw in there. The one I have on Amazon starts at $55, can go all the way up depending on the size you want in it, and I
30-liter.
game changer.
Yeah, so I'm gonna get one of those 30s for my car parts.
Holy.
That's huge.
But the 2 liters is all you need for bike stuff.
Yeah,
Is that what
I have it
No,
too.
yours is like a 2 or a 5 or something. It's a
Yours
yours
might
is
be a
better for-
6.
yeah.
Yours might be a 6. Does it have a drain valve on the
No.
side?
It's just that small one.
The
Yeah.
2. That's what mine is too.
It's perfect.
Yeah.
It fits all the small parts.
Yeah.
Goes on a workbench.
And
easily.
it'll
Yep.
chase your dog the hell out of the room as soon as you
Yep.
turn it on because
Yep.
it's like
Harmonics.
yeah, it's terrible. What do you guys put in it?
Mostly cassette. I
Parts?
think. Yeah.
No, I mean
Simple green.
the
Oh.
liquid, the
Yeah,
liquid,
simple green.
simple green.
Oh.
That's what I
the
do
way to
too.
go.
Acid.
Yeah.
Acid,
Yep.
yeah, battery acid.
Works the same.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
old
also
car
a
battery.
I think I've
delicious
done-
beverage.
I've done like
afterwards.
dish soap in there too.
Yeah,
And that
Dawn.
works.
I've done
Yep.
Dawn a couple
Dawn.
times. Yeah, yeah.
I
Works
use
well.
that Sterling Private Reserve
Diesel.
211.
211.
Yeah.
That would
Oh,
probably
strip the varnish off
Yeah,
this
yeah.
table.
Yeah,
Diesel.
little
works
old
too.
English.
Yeah, Old English 800. Any malt liquor really
Yeah,
Yep.
works pretty good, and you can reuse it. You can drink it afterwards.
yeah.
you know,
I
so-
see.
That and a
Still
little bit of
good.
moonshine.
It'll taste
here,
the same.
than
Piss it out.
anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My third recommendation is, and I don't know if you guys have these, tub of towels, man. Tub
Yeah.
of towels. These things work for everything from your hands, getting chain grease off your hands. They clean your white cycling shoes. If you have white cycling shoes, buy these tub of towels. A barrel of them is $15, and they last forever. And they are just it'll clean your shoes up. It'll clean stuff off your bike that you didn't realize existed in the periodic table of elements. It'll take care of everything. I love those things, and they're not that expensive. I had a tub that lasts me like 4 years, and now I just need to order a new one. So I'm going to use my own link to get it. What do you guys do for shop rags, towels? Do you just steal stuff from the house, or
No,
do you
well,
buy
like-
disposables or rewash or?
I have like just throwaway towels that I save and they last me forever.
Yeah.
Like I will use one for probably years. But then I have those like blue heavy duty towels that I use
From
for like
Costco or something, yeah.
like they're really nice like shop towels that I'll use. They're made of cotton
Yeah.
for like wiping down the bike and the wheels and everything.
So these have like a detergent in them. It's almost like a Lysol wipe, but better.
But it's not.
But it won't
super
like hurt
evil
will it
stuff.
hurt carbon?
No.
Huh.
No, it doesn't.
Nice.
Well, I've
As
been
far as
using
you
it
know.
on my bike for several years.
Is that
and
why your bike doesn't glow anymore?
Well,
It's
they-
a dull.
Yeah,
my
Didn't
bike?
that
and there's
thing
some
used to be
paint missing
red?
in certain
Yeah.
parts.
What's
It's
that?
orange. Didn't it used to be red?
It used to
Yeah.
be bright red. Now it's orange.
But it doesn't harm it. Changes the color.
Hey,
I
it
got
doesn't
little
harm
divots.
it.
I got
Hey.
some divots,
hey,
but
hey, Paul.
yeah,
Mine's still here.
yes, it is.
Oh, whoa.
You're getting me pissed off again.
Oh my God! Do you guys rewash your shop towels, or do you just? Because I've done that a couple times with chain grease in it, and I've looked into the laundry machine, and I've had to wipe down the basket before my wife found out because it was like, oh,
Seems
there's
like a
chain grease
dangerous
all
game to
over
then
it.
put
Yeah.
clothes in there.
No, I didn't put clothes in there. I just watched
No,
my
After.
Yeah. Oh
I'm
yeah.
just saying, like, then the next load.
Yeah. Everything
You
looks
gotta
like it's
almost
been
like
peppered.
run an empty load.
You
Yeah.
know what's great for shop towels though?
What?
Event
Garbage.
shirts. Event shirts.
Oh, event shirts.
Like you get all these shirts for doing races. Never gonna wear them.
No.
Most of them, I cut them up and make them into towels.
I do. I use
Yeah.
old T-shirts. Yeah.
That's a
Yeah,
good
just
idea.
Old sheets.
I have actually one that I can't get rid of, and it is actually Jackson's baby towel. But it still has the hood
You should
on it.
use that as
It has the hood on it where you'd put the hood over his head and you'd wrap him and you'd swallow him all up.
He'd
Isn't it a terry
prefer
cloth?
it was,
Is it a terry cloth?
It's a towel. Yeah.
Yeah. That'd be great to for waxing and. Oh, I'm sorry, he didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Never mind.
No, that's what I just got chain grease all over it. It's just been
nice.
destroyed. But I can't throw it out because I just keep thinking, you dick.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta get out of my own head.
You do.
Just for a day.
Yeah, but speaking of mental trauma, I have purchased the white shorts for the Ride of Shame. They are on their way. I apologize that they are bibs.
It's
okay.
Jackson wanted them to be not bibs,
It's
just
gonna
so
be
you
better
could
for us
see a
all.
little ass crack. Because I lost the tour competition, I will be riding with that, and I will be riding with the Kid of Shame, the neon jersey with Depends, with Viagra, with all types of Metamucil logos all over it.
I just want to throw this out to the listeners.
He should have to take Viagra beforehand. Yeah.
That's a whoa.
In white shorts? Good idea. Yeah.
Clicked in on that a little too quick there.
Sorry.
If David didn't even do the did he even make a team for this?
No, he
I think
didn't.
I still won.
So
yeah.
did
You
he
didn't
lose
participate.
the most?
I wasn't even here for like 6 weeks.
You could have still just
Listen to
chosen.
this.
You
Listen
didn't have
to this
to.
little whiny
I'm
little
just-
punk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. We should make him be the loser.
Yeah, he should wear my my
Kid of
size
Shame.
shorts.
Yep.
No, that would not be good for anybody.
That wouldn't be
No,
good.
no.
So the question is should it be a group ride, or should it be, because by the way we
Should
are
be a bigger than us.
hold
group
on,
ride.
we are 5 weeks away from the required Beer 4 Mile event of 400 episodes of the Packfiller
By
Podcast.
who?
What?
Who's required?
I am. All of us. We have to do it.
I think I might be a little sick that day.
No, you're
I might
not.
not be
sick.
making it in that
I
day.
can tell you. After how many cores I saw you put away?
Yeah,
that was not me.
That was
Something else away.
That was bachelor me.
But so that's the. Oh my God, that'd be hilarious. If
Yeah.
you just did down the beers in a Beer 4 Mile, you shotgun them.
Yeah.
What else did you do?
I don't know. Well, that's the question. So should it be,
Torpedoing
number
notes.
one, should it be the Beer 4 Mile, or should it be a group ride?
Oh, it should
You guys
be a
get to
group
pick.
ride. It should be a group ride. And it
And
should be
the
a bigger
Beer
than
4
us
Mile.
group ride.
This is a tour you lost, okay? It needs to be both.
You should need to shut the hell up, Mr.
Yeah, before we turn it on you.
Mr. I didn't play and I'm taking my toys and going home.
And yeah, give him Viagra and white shorts. Yeah, that's a good idea.
Exactly. No, you see that?
David's like, I could prescribe that.
I would. I've done worse.
Really?
Okay.
I mean,
like,
really? No, I'm kidding.
not to like put your license on the line or anything.
Yeah,
but
no,
like,
no.
But
It'd be
like,
fine.
tell us.
yeah.
So we're saying a true road ride.
Sure. Yeah.
Is that
Yes.
is that the majority
said
of the
both.
group?
Yeah.
Both.
I
Not
think-
both.
And,
Once.
and
I
it
think you
needs to
said
be
both.
like we'll go meet up with the Saturday group
Here's
that are
the
all
thing.
70 years old, and they're
I
going to be like,
think-
"Hey, I love that
Nice
Viagra
shorts.
jersey. I use that stuff all the
You're only
time."
wearing those shorts once. Give them to me. That's David Stanley, a good
Yeah.
buddy on the Cycling Legends show. He says, "Pat, you gonna use those shorts only once?" I went, "Yeah." He says, "Well, I ride indoors a lot. Send them to me." Like,
This is
I
gonna
have
be
an
so
input on
bad.
this.
but
It has to be filmed, so I think the Beer Mile. My Kid of Shame experience is on record.
it is.
So therefore, I think it would be fun because then
I can
there's going to be
video
some
it.
spillage and maybe some
There might be
pukage.
some pukage.
I think
Yeah.
the Beer Mile might be the one to do.
He makes a good point.
It has to be
What date
documented.
is the beer mile?
The Beer 4 Mile is when we reach. It would be about 5 weeks from now.
So in September.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm going to be here.
You will.
I might be in Switzerland.
Well, we'll wait,
Okay, good.
or we'll do it before. It has to be a group effort. Jackson.
I am okay.
I wouldn't miss it.
Sure.
I don't know why.
Sure.
Way to be a part of the team.
You don't sound
No.
very convincing.
It's
Oh, he's
not
doing
that
it.
I'm not part of the team. I'm clearly part of the team. I just don't want to chug. I'm going to say it. I don't want to chug 4 fucking beers. I don't want to chug that much in a sitting because somebody's got a light tummy.
Oh, I see.
And so that's not gonna happen.
You got 5 weeks.
Start
training.
To not be here, to find a
No,
reason to not
5
be
weeks to start training your system.
He's
to
gonna be
handle-
licking like doorknobs trying to get like COVID or something.
Yeah.
Where's Jimmy?
Yeah.
What would you guys? Look at his butt.
Let's not put that on record.
What would your beverage of choice be for the 4 mile, Sam?
Does
4
whiskey
beers.
count?
4 beers. 4
This is
miles.
such
All
an
on a
easy-
stationary
this is-
bike.
I think it should be one of the on tap beers, personally,
Oh,
because
really?
you
You
bring
can't
up and
shotgun
mention
that.
you mention their names, whoever it is at that point in time. That
Yeah.
I think it's. I think
So we
it's
don't
normal.
get to pick our own beers?
No.
Jackson's like freaking the hell out.
Because we all know
Okay,
that I'm
there's
not
no
gonna do
way.
this.
Honestly, there's no way that we're drinking heavier than a Pilsner. There's no
This
way.
is the easiest question of all time.
If you
do
say
not
Coors-
chug beer besides Coors,
No.
No.
It
and
would
you
have
don't
to be a-
refrigerate it beforehand.
That's a man with some
Make sure the
experience
mountain
over there.
isn't blue.
Yeah.
Can we go back on having him here?
Does anybody want to ask how he knows this?
Because he's done a lot.
Life
He's done a lot of
experience.
shotguns.
Okay, so we got 5 weeks to figure this out, and I will be fine with opening this up. We're not going to do it in a largely public space. We're probably going to do it in my driveway, but for friends
can
of the
hose it
show, we
down
can have
afterwards,
Oh,
yeah.
exactly. Oh, exactly. And if you puke, you're out. You automatically lose if you puke.
Oh, you're good.
I'm
Well-
going to I'm going to show up throwing up.
You just
So if anybody really wants me to do this,
We're gonna start.
do
and
what?
he's pulling the trigger.
yeah.
I'm out.
I can't do it. But I'd like to add this to the rules. If you puke, you're out. But if you eat your puke,
you're
back
back in.
What's like the verdict on like?
Give me a spatula and a spoon.
have it ready, like a dog poop scooper. You know, with the little
yeah.
rake.
I got those. Yeah. You were gonna ask?
I was
Jackson?
gonna say like, what's the verdict on like fake throw up?
No,
I'm
we've
gonna-
got to physically see something come out of your face.
I'm gonna smoke you all.
Jackson, you can do ciders.
This is gonna. This
like
is gonna
way
come.
worse.
You guys are gonna see David and I on our absolute worst.
Good.
That's what
And
will
I
make
can't.
it fine.
It's really going to be hard to
entertaining.
kind of believe that because I think I've pretty much seen it.
No.
Yeah.
You
most
haven't.
Tuesdays and most
haven't.
Saturdays and Sundays.
Yeah.
And in Montana in 2 weeks.
Yeah. And at the bachelor party, were they pretty bad?
No,
No.
not
No, you're
awful.
mixing alcohol and competition between Waples brothers. It's a really bad choice.
Bad thing. So we should disclaimer the shit out of this, saying don't do what we do.
Don't do what we're doing.
Just laugh at our expense. Okay, there we
Utter
go.
stupidity.
Hey everybody, stay safe, have fun, tell about the podcast, and there we go. We and pick your world championships. If you want to send us through social media who the 3 riders you pick for the worlds, we're just going to go with the bragging rights here and see what happens, and then we go from there. So season ain't over yet. Thanks, you guys.
Thank
Thanks.
you.